Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TLS3 Qualifier number 3. I am Sale, and with me as always is Elegant.
How you doing, everybody? It's nice to be here.
And look at the beautiful face, no more still picture. Now we have moving images. This is newfangled technology here.
I know.
Not quite ready for BattleNet 2.0, but we're getting there.
I can't experience any of the luxuries I experienced before, though. When it was just a still image, people had this amazing idea of me. Now I can't, cast in my underwear, for example. Well, I could be, for all you know.
You could.
I'd feel
only
silly.
have the head. You could even be wearing like half a shirt. Like for all we
Yeah.
know, like the bottom half of your shirt could be non-existent, and we wouldn't even be able to tell.
Yeah, it'd be a waste of a perfect good Team Liquid t-shirt, though, wouldn't it?
It would. Are you wearing your TLS t-shirt, by the way? You need to like sit up, represent. Yes. Same.
Yeah.
Oh man, matching t-shirts. This was totally unplanned. That awkward moment.
Oh dear.
But that's okay. They're matching TL shirts, so it's all good.
Yeah, the second time it's happened to me today, actually. Not with Team Liquid shirts, with items of clothing. If it was with Team Liquid shirts, that would be amazing.
Wait, so you had a matching outfit with somebody else?
Not a matching outfit. My goodness, imagine that. Doppelganger. No, same shoes.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
same
shoes.
Oh, same shoes, man.
That's what you get for wearing Converse.
Who
out and
even
about.
notices that? Anyway.
Everybody wears them.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not nearly as bad as it could have been. Anyway, we are here for StarCraft and not clothing, just to reassure people in case they were getting a little bit concerned.
Yep.
So just a quick recap of last week from our first qualifier. Oh, spoiler alert. Well, it's been a week, so you know.
It's all right.
From our first qualifier, we had True Touch advance over Zaraki in the finals, and in our second qualifier, Protoss player Dodie smashed through Sasnon in the finals and qualified as well. So we got a Zerg and a Protoss so far. Maybe a Terran player today. I don't know. I mean, Non's playing again. Andre's playing again. It's possible.
Yeah. I feel like Andre at some point through sheer calamity and something odd will get through. I feel like it might happen, whether it's today or tomorrow. I kind of fancy his chances just because if you stumble enough times, you sort of stumble into the right place.
Wow, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a compliment to Andre or what. It's like, well,
It's a backhanded compliment.
He's not good enough to qualify on pure skill, but if he plays enough times, I guess he'll make it.
I think he is. That's the funny thing. I think he is good enough to qualify on pure being a good player, but it's the bits of him that are a bad player that hold him back, which is kind of unfortunate.
He's all right. Yes, exactly. Well said, Elegant. Well said. So with that, our first match of the day is going to be none other than a ZVT. Let me bring up the matchup screen for you guys. On Destination, of course, our lovely, lovely map that we've seen so many times in the qualifier so far. We are going to have Quirinus versus Radley. I believe it is Quirinus. Not missing an I anywhere.
That's interesting. Kind of battle of the underdogs.
Yeah, and what's more interesting to me is actually that we saw one of Radley's games, I can't remember if it was Season 1 or 2, where he actually beat Otzerg in a long TVZ on Fighting Spirit. So, he's not necessarily a guy you'd think is like among the top players, but yeah, he's definitely got some mad skills. So
yeah, he's another player that's hanging around kind of on the edge. Actually, how long has Radley been around? He's only kind of drawn attention fairly recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know,
Yeah.
but he's a Polish player, and they have a ton of strong Zergs, so I'm sure he definitely gets a lot of good practice.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Yeah, you can't think of all the times we've discussed how do the Poles do it. Of course, if we knew, we'd be better players. But yeah, Radley can always be in danger. Quirinus, is going to be an interesting one. I haven't seen him play for quite a while now. I'm not really sure what stage he's at. I know at one point he was practicing very hard and was really on his way up. So I'm interested to see where he's arrived at now.
Yeah, he seems to participate in a lot of events. Like, I vaguely recall him from Nation Wars, maybe, or I'm pretty sure it was Nation Wars where he played some matches.
And maybe was he in the C ranks C rank Star League a while ago?
Yes, almost certainly yes.
So either he's somehow battling his way against all the odds in this particular tournament right here, or he's got significantly better because Yeah, you wouldn't imagine someone from the C rank Star League to be necessarily representing well in TLS. So it's just interesting to see how players from there have sort of come up since then and starting to make a bit of a splash at stages such as this. And I find that really, really, really heartwarming.
Well, it is a round of 64 match, so he's not too deep into the qualifier just yet, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how he does. Anyway, I'm ready for game number 1, and Elegance, how about you?
I'm ready for game number 1.
All right, here we go. And here we go into game number 1 at the 12 o'clock position as the Teal Zerg. We have Fox Quirinus as 6 o'clock position. As the Red Terran, we have 1410 Macia, who I have been told is Radley. I'll just have to go on that.
Funny this, isn't it? So many players playing under all these various aliases. I thought that it would be kind of the deal that you'd have to play under your main name in a tournament such as this. It's a little bit strange.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, this could actually be Flash playing as 1410 Macia pretending to be Radley. You know,
Yeah.
you just never know with these things.
Yeah, you have to hope that the staff are a bit more on it than that. I mean, we just have to put our faith in them to that extent. But you never do quite know. I have a strong feeling we'll know in about 2 minutes whether or not it is in fact Flash play.
Well, see, you'd think that the staff would take care of stuff like that, but honestly, right? Like, if you were a TLS referee and Bisu comes up to you and is like, dude, just let me play on a Smurf, would you really say no? I mean, honestly, would you say no?
I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be flattered that he came to me, to be honest. And I think I'd go out of my way to please him. I might even fix his match just in case, just so he didn't get
Just in
losing
case.
to Quirinus.
He loses like to some random C+ guy. He's like, better make sure and host a rigged map just to make sure Bisu gets through the first round.
Exactly. Quirinus spawns next to minerals that you can't mine. No, BC rather. And yeah, and then it's just like, what's this? BC just walks all over it. It needs to happen.
So we have a wall in here. It's going to be a nice Zergling type wall in by Mr. Radley, which leads me to believe that he's going to go for some kind of fast gas, some kind of tech off one base.
Yep.
And it is quite good for, or destination rather, is quite a good map for that, or just going standard mech, or for doing some kind of sneaky shenanigans. So
Yeah.
be very interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen a lot of that so far in the TLS. That's pretty much basically most of what we've seen. I seem to recall.
Yeah. As far as TVZs go, yeah, I think you're right, and it's
This,
I guess partly
yeah.
contributed by casting a decent number of Andre games, but yeah,
That's
the
true.
Terrans, man.
He really sticks in my mind. But Terrans, this seems to be the prevailing trend. Very, very strongly. In fact, I kind of expect it now. Quirinus completely miscalling it. Proxy, no. But he is mining out your back minerals, so you want to be a little bit careful of that. It can be a pain in the ass if your back minerals get mined out at this stage in the game. I mean, I know there isn't particular likelihood for Terrans to take advantage of it yet, but if you consider that the stage where he's maybe made a vulture or some such, then it can easily get sneaking around, and it can be tough for Zergs to shut that kind of thing down, or for anyone to shut that kind of thing down. So it's always good to be on top of that. The drone goes past. Will he notice? Don't know if he's going to. You know.
Looks like he is turning back now, gonna start spitting on that SCV and take care of that.
Yeah,
But the funny thing is that he's actually not following it up with a fast gas. Whoa, scouting drone on the front side. That's a bit of a mistake. Looks like he got a little bit caught on the bridge.
Top of the ramp.
Oh wow, both drones have died. Okay, that is not good. So Quirinus has lost 2 drones already here.
That's yeah.
And okay, now we do have the gas following up here. So it looks like it was like a 1-rax expand with a fake wall into a gas here. It's a little bit peculiar, but this isn't necessarily bad. If there was some kind of 2 or 3 hatch muta coming out from Quirinus, then these buildings at the top of the ramp are slightly more vulnerable than if he'd placed them closer to the command center. But other than that, it's not a huge deal. Anyway, it looks like Overlord Guy's gonna run away now. I think he probably saw the gas. So
I would imagine so. He should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, it does just give a little bit more ground to cover. But really, it's always going to take kind of 3 or so missile turrets to cover the base anyway, so it shouldn't mean that much extra expenditure for Radley if, in fact, when Quirinus does in fact come out with news lists. Both guys interested in losing their scouts, and neither managing to get out alive, which may be a little bit of a mistake on both parts, since we only actually saw 2 Zerglings from Radley. From Quirinus rather, so maybe Radley would have been able to get his SCV out. But no, not too much of a big deal. But he will miss out on the spire timing and that kind of thing. But I think he must have seen the next hatchery go down. I think.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. If you say so again, I will believe you. Yeah, we do have a lair on the way now, and curiously to me, a very fast academy actually from Radley. So,
yeah.
Did the SCV die?
SCV died.
All right.
Just.
There was a sunken at the front to help against that, but yeah, it's interesting. So we did have this preemptive sunken just in case there was some kind of ultra coming in, but instead the fast gas was used for a fast academy and a fast stim upgrade, and we do have now a second barracks going down. So the order of the buildings here is a little bit interesting. Usually you have the second barracks before the academy. In almost all variations of turn openings that I can think of. So getting this academy ultra quick is quite interesting. But that does mean that he's going to get the medics out a lot faster, which means they're going to be able to start building up energy, which could be quite useful. Meanwhile, we actually have a very fast third base here for Quirinus at the left side, which is interesting.
So we do. Wow, that's really interesting. Curious to see how he's going to hold that. I wonder if we're about to see a Hydralisk down. Are we about to see Hydra's turn? No, I thought the drone from was about to make it. No, I'm just looking around for his tech. He does seem a little bit slow on his tech. He has a fair number of minerals in the bank. So
there we go.
There we go. There we have a spire mating at the top of the ramp, so it's nothing too crazy, but it's going to be interesting watching him try to hold on to that third base. But on destination, I guess it's not too difficult. It's not a huge amount of extra ground to cover to that next bridge for the third base, so you just got to be a little bit extra careful and maybe slightly less gung-ho with his muselists. Or maybe more gung-ho with his muselists and just keep his opponent more well-contained than would usually be entirely essential.
We didn't point this out earlier, but so far this entire time, Quirinus has been using one Zergling to poke back and forth into the Terran's natural, which I really, really like. I don't know if he actually saw enough to tell him what was going on with this push, though, although he is making 3 sunken, so it does seem like he knows the danger. But the problem is that third base is completely undefended, so... it's basically a hidden expansion at this point. He's just praying that his opponent does not find out about it. Meanwhile, one Zergling going to run up in here. There's the stim. He's going to go for it, but the summons are going to finish. I don't know if this is the best idea.
Oh, getting stuck. Yeah, getting stuck on the ramp. Not the best idea. He saw those 2 sunkers that weren't quite in yet and thought, you know what, I can go for this. Quirinus runs the risk of giving himself away a little bit. If he strays too close to that third base, that would definitely be a huge mistake. Is Radley going to go looking for it? He's tempted. He's thinking he might, but not quite making it there yet. We'll keep an eye on that. Zergling is running around trying to draw that force away from the third base. Maybe catching a firelight right there. Nice catch by Quirinus for the cost of a few lings though. And he's safe for the time being. It looks like Radley is going to go into that base. He must have scanned it. We heard a lot of scans going down at one point. There's Leeds going to go in there and try and save it, but I'm sure it's too late. That sunken collie might just make it in. No, it's not even going to make it in. He will cancel it, and that base will be forfeit, unfortunately. His list will now pop, and he may be able to actually get over there and save it. There's only a handful of Marines still surviving. He needs to micro his list well, but it is not by any means impossible. Come on, collect your lists together and go, man. There is no time to waste. Collect your lists together, and if he goes, should be able to easily clean out these Marines, but he's being a little bit slow about it. Gets 3, and the last of them going down now, and the base will just make it.
Yep, so does lose 1 meter there to take them out, so good focus firing by Radley, but otherwise he does save the hatchery. Meanwhile, we have 2 bunkers actually going up at the front of the base here. Curiously, okay, there we go, there's a turret at the back. Some players will actually even build a bunker behind the minerals on destination because of how annoying that little back cliff area is, but I guess it's not really necessary. In the meantime, it looks like the main is nice and covered up by turrets, so I'm going to add some turrets here by the barracks to help keep those protected. Gotta be careful not to linger on this bridge too much. It's easy for the mutas to actually pick units off here and use the fact that they basically just can't move. Meanwhile, we do have a pretty quick transition out of the mutas by Quirinus, going for those lurkers, getting that Queen's Nest.
Yeah, he's doing some nice micro here over the bridge, not taking too many shots, picking up a fair number of Marines. That force is just staying relatively small for now, so Quirinus shouldn't be too worried, and he's able to get some more sunkens up at his third base. He's getting 3 sunkens up there now. And he's just about ready for the lurkers to start slightly away from that upgrade, but that's going to be happening any second now, and then he should be safe. These mutants just have to hold him out for a little bit longer, and he's only lost 1 or 2 of them so far, so this shouldn't be a difficult force to deal with. He's missing his opportunity to catch the Marines as they go across the bridge, though, perhaps missing a little bit of a trick there, but I would imagine he still has what it takes to take these guys down before they cause him any serious harm.
Interestingly, a lot of scans going down kind of ahead of the Marine Force. He scanned the left base, and oh my god, catches the Mutas here. One goes down, and another takes a lot of damage. Nice little catch here by a really tiny Marine Force. I mean, this should really not be on the map, let alone doing significant damage, and yet it's really being a pain in the butt here for Quirinus. So nice efficient use of this Marine group by, oh my god, and Quirinus loses another Muta there. That is not good.
That is not good at all. Throwing some mutants away for free when he's been actually relatively economical with them so far. He keeps flying those mutants just basically in the path of the Marines, and it's getting really uncomfortable to watch those mutants sort of tempt the Marines to take them down. He's going to go over to the natural. He's going to find nothing but bunkers and not a very warm welcome for him. Waiting there at the other end, and he's turned away very, very sharply by all those Terran forces laying in wait. Radley will not be caught out by mutas today. There's loads of missile turrets in his main. We actually have 2 armories up and running as well now, so going pretty serious on his mech upgrades.
Yeah, this is interesting. He's doing what seems to be a super fast mech switch, but he hasn't actually added the factories yet. He's going for the upgrades first, which is interesting. He's going to have really good upgrades by the time he actually does the switch in the unit composition. But I don't know if this is necessarily the most efficient way to do it, though. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of ordering where you go for both armories before adding on more factories.
A little bit funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
I can see its logic, actually. I really can, because if he's planning to switch fairly early, his mech force won't necessarily be as big as if he did it later, and he'll need it to really count. And so I can kind of see why, if he's not too heavily invested in making his Marines work, if he's just wanting to basically keep the Zerg down a little bit, keep the Zerg making a few defensive units, then he can push a few Marines out, but he can basically sacrifice a good quantity of his force to upgrades and to preparing for that eventual mech switch, as long as it doesn't get him too badly hammered. In the meantime, his lurks are going to dart in and they're going to be able to get down before the Marines can take them out, and he should be able to clean up the last of that Marine force. There's a few reinforcements coming out of the back, but I don't know if that's the best idea from Radley, because that force is looking oh so terribly exposed right now. One strategic tank and a little cluster of Marines should probably not be enough right now.
What's up with these 3 SEVs too?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
This is pretty cute. I mean, this is really funny because despite actually not having a substantial ground force due to the fact that he's going so quickly for these mech upgrades, Radley's being ridiculously aggressive here. He's actually stockpiling a little bit of money as well. Could have done with probably another barracks or 2, but no, it looks like he's now adding on the factories. I guess that does make sense. But yeah, see, you know, what you're saying about the upgrades, that does make some amount of sense, but on the other hand, you think, well, you know, he's cutting so much into his actual production that you know, a solid Zerg would be able to just really push him back and keep him off the map, and he'd be kind of stuck on his 2 bases, even getting those upgrades, which is a bit not so nice. You know, looks like the Filer Mound is ready, consume well on its way, and Lurker Ling now going to go up here and sort of put a bit of pressure on the Terran. Of course, these bridges make it really hard for him to actually be too aggressive here. And the Siege Tank should be able to push him back as well. But what he could do is, well, what he should do right now is pull these lurkers back. But he can still make a decent arc kind of outside the bridges. So as soon as the Terran tries to move across, he can kind of come down and snap the Terran's neck while he's all on the bridges and his army is in a good position. Yeah,
that should be possible. It looks like one tank might get picked up. Oh, good last hit. Siege Tank Splash, I think, actually doing the eventual damage right there.
Yep.
I think that Quirinus should be doing a bit more, I feel, to try to put him down. I mean, I feel that if he'd gone a little bit heavier in the mid game instead of doing this this really rapid transition through to Hive Tech, he may have been able to really keep Radley back. Whereas as it is, he hasn't been able to basically at all. Radley was able to go out with this little kind of task force, make his funny expedition over on the right hand side and set up kind of this odd defensive position over there. Whereas I feel that probably shouldn't have happened. We have 2 Scourge going in. Ooh, almost getting into a position to catch the Science Force, but then get a little bit forgotten about. And a whole bunch of looks getting picked off as well. Wow, dear me. Quirinus losing far more than he really should, and casting some sort of bizarre dark swarm there as well, which achieves absolutely nothing. So all of his stuff died, and boom goes the Defiler. So this is, yeah, not looking brilliant for Quirinus. He hasn't done much yet.
Yeah, this is pretty sloppy play from both players, to be honest. And quirinus is just going crazy with these expansions. He's actually taking one of the Terran's bases now on his side of the map and just does not care.
Yep.
Radley, meanwhile, taking the right side base. That's going to get spotted by an Overlord. But yeah, I mean, Radley's being all, you know, cost efficient and laying mines and stuff. And quirinus is like, well, alright, I guess I'll just expand a bunch then. And that's fine. He does actually have 2,500 minerals, so I guess he might as well make more hatcheries.
Dear me. Yes, he might as well. Might as well make a whole bunch in his main, which is exactly what he's doing now. I feel awkwardly like quirinus has only just discovered that little forward command post that Radley's got going on, which is a little bit of an unpleasant realization to make at the 15-minute mark. But nonetheless, he has finally discovered it, so he should be able to shut it down fairly efficiently with some decent use of Dark Swarm. But I'm not holding my breath for that. When you do have a Sunken Colony coming at the top of the ramp, which is not going to make it, and a Lurker which never gets into the ground, a Defiler which is destined to die before it throws down in Dark Swarm or Plague or anything interesting like that, and that base is going to be quite quickly dispatched by a Terran friend Radley. Left-hand side, however, is quirinus's very firmly right now, and he seems to be focusing more there than anywhere else. He doesn't seem entirely bothered about the right-hand side, although it begs the question, why would he send Lurker and Defiler there? But the left-hand side looks a lot more firmly shut down, and Radley's going to have a hard time breaking that if he does in fact try. Unless quirinus tries to go into his natural, this could be a very misguided attempt indeed. Where is the Dark Swarm? We need Dark Swarm right now. There's quite a lot of siege tanks. Finally, the Dark Swarm gets down.
And he does actually have enough energy for another one, so he can actually just push these Lurkers forward, but the tanks are going to siege up, so he has to be a little bit careful when he unburrows. He will still take the splash damage from the Lurkers. Looks like he's going to leave them there and finish off that bunker first. And yeah, as you said, quirinus really spreading down the left side here, allowing him a path to just go into the Terran's natural here. This is not something that Radley probably would have anticipated. He did lay some mines to try and stop this, but it wasn't quite enough. They weren't quite in the correct positions. And, you know, fortunately for him, he did go for this mech switch early, so he does have a good number of siege tanks here, but is it going to be enough here? There's an Irradiate as well. It looks like there's still a couple of Lurkers here doing some damage. Most of the Lurkers are dead, although it looks like the command center is taking a decent amount of damage, but yeah, is that going to be it? What are there, 2 Lurkers here? Okay, no, the Swarm wears out, and that is it.
That is definitely the proverbial it. quirinus does have plenty of money still left in the bank, and he does of course have the magic, the money disappearing, the Ultralisk Cavern, so he should be able to pop out fairly, of course, at fairly short notice if he so wishes, but he doesn't seem too eager to get that bank down, so I'm not really quite sure what he's waiting for. There we go, we have, oh, they're drones. Never mind.
You'd think that with 3,000 minerals in the bank, he doesn't actually need more drones, but... I
was just thinking that, but he seems to feel otherwise. Maybe he wants 4,000. That's the golden number from which to go on and win the game. But this was weird, trying to do that frontal assault into Radley's base, because he was getting way ahead on expansions, like way ahead. So he could have kind of made an effort to shut Radley down from making that base on the right-hand side, held on over on the left-hand side, whereas now Radley's making a base on the right-hand side, and he's also going to squash quirinus on the left-hand side, just basically as soon as he wishes. So I find that a little bit of a miscalculation by quirinus and getting too overeager there to try and do some kind of damage when he needs
Infesto! He missed! What the hell?
Oh no!
Well, how did he miss? How did you miss? It's like a giant command center. Do you know how many pixels are in this command center? How did you miss? Oh my god. This big ass command center right here, and he somehow like aimed for the comsat. What? Are you kidding me?
That's incredibly peculiar. What can an infested comsat do? Make areas of the map dark? That's just incredibly strange. And Radley, according to the little bit of paused in-game chat, did not realize that the command center was burning down before the Queen jetted over. So actually, quirinus has done far more harm than good in making that Queen.
Looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam in the natural as well. He's finally getting things out there. Normally, you see at this point in the game, players will rally outside of the bridges here, just to avoid this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's just a bit nicer, but looks like he's still rallied into his natural. But he's getting his units out, and he can start pushing back these annoying little scouting barracks.
He is regrettably supply blocked. That should rectify itself fairly soon, but yeah, that barracks is going to get taken down. There's buildings all over the place that he needs to get rid of. That's going to be painfully slow with 2 Museless, so I'm not going to wait too much for that. On the left-hand side, we do have a lot of units sort of bobbling around for quirinus. I hope he doesn't forget where he put those, because that's quite an army to lose. I'm sure Jadon would tell you all about those various pains. And he looks like he's now getting ready to do another some kind of maybe ill-informed assault on Radley, because I feel like Radley, he kind of has a fairly strong defensive position right there because he's got missile turrets, he's got mines, he's got tanks. And if quirinus goes in there, it'll be a little bit of a mistake. He could be going over the right-hand side and getting rid of that important mining base that quirinus has over there. He does not need to be going straight, Spider-Man, for the heart of his opponent right now.
Yeah, this seems like a bad idea, but I mean, he's got ultras, so you know that's good. Oh, he might do some line drags. He's running in. Is he even killing anything? He's killed one tank, and he's killed. Okay, there's a dog swarm finally, and we do have some more lurkers coming in. Only a single ultra is remaining, but almost no Zerg left.
Yeah, almost no Zerg left. This is weird because quirinus hasn't been over to the right-hand side for a very long time. If he were to go over there, he would find
a base in his base.
Bases. He would find a base in his base and another base where he could easily get rid of it. So I don't quite understand what he's doing here. I don't quite understand it. It doesn't seem to make very much sense to me. And he's now sending 2 lurkers fruitlessly to their deaths. Is he doing mine drags?
I don't know. I mean, I wonder if he just thinks that the expansions would be better defended, so he's trying to attack the natural instead. I mean, it's not necessarily completely wrong, actually. A lot of times, funnily enough, in late game situations, the least defended part is actually your natural expansion, because you usually are like, oh, you really focus on defending your new expansions, and you're like, well, you know, I'm rallying all my new units to my natural, so it should be fine. But actually, a lot of times it is a bit of a weak point. So maybe quirinus is trying to capitalize on that, but it's obviously not working. Although he is still trading away some units, and that is important to kind of prevent the mech ball from really building up a sizable number of siege tanks. You just want to start trading units down if you can. Yeah. Even if they're not necessarily the most cost-efficient engagements, they do something. Although quirinus is suiciding a lot of units all over the place. Meanwhile, this little
this is replay broken. He's on 6,000 minerals.
He's on 3,500 for me. Uh-oh.
Yeah, my replay's broken.
Uh-oh. Desync. Oh man.
Oh, how high can they go before the game ends? Okay,
wait,
so
are you the new Jolt? Elegant.
Wait,
can you start describing ridiculous things that are happening in your game?
Oh, I love that. You have the big Overlord cluster, right, over quirinus's ramp from his main?
I do.
Okay, good, because that looked a bit weird. But quirinus now seems to be doing absolutely nothing for me. He's just stockpiling minerals, which is good.
He's spending minerals on my one, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
The minerals are going down.
Yeah, I have a broken replay.
How did this happen? We hosted this. I hosted it. We should be watching the same replay.
I want to make this perfectly clear to everyone that this is by no means a lack of professionalism on the part of me or the TLS organization.
Yeah, this is actually goes beyond professionalism into awesome sauce. I mean, this
is deeply bizarre.
See, dude, you need to be like Jolt, man, and commentate that.
I want hilarious things to start happening. You keep commentating the game, and when I see something hilarious, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, I'll wait for it. So meanwhile, quirinus isn't actually doing anything too interesting in the real replay. He's running around in the middle of the map. Radley has actually discovered this base in the back of his natural now, and so it looks like quirinus is going to make a move on this little encampment, which I was going to say this encampment has been here since, you know, like the 8-minute mark or something. It was made really, really early, and it's still here. It's actually protecting his right side expansion. One of these bunkers is going to fall, but some reinforcements coming in now, so Radley is going to be able to hold on to this. He's got 177 supply against 113, really holding on to a big supply lead. I mean, you know, because quirinus's money does go down every now and then, I feel like he's still here. But because of what's happening in your replay, I'm not even sure. And this giant Overlord clump seems really, really interesting.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'm surprised. I definitely don't have the right replay because, you know, there are idle SCVs everywhere, there are idle units everywhere. There's a single kind of Mutilus doing some kind of weird patrol thing down at roughly the 6 o'clock position. Nothing makes any sense. There's air armor upgrading. Is that happening for you?
It might be. There's a big attack going on the left side, so I don't want to click away to find out, because quirinus is going to lose these left side expansions that he took at what were supposed to be Radley's bases. Meanwhile, he's just got a bunch of Hydras sitting idly in the middle of the map. He didn't run his drones away, and looks like, oh, he's found his Hydras now. Looks like, oh, he's just waiting for a few reinforcements here. He's going for the Hydraless Ultra's composition to counteract the mech, which is a pretty solid composition here. Meanwhile, we have an engineering bay. Is that supposed to be a command center? Surely that is supposed to be a command center. What? What the hell?
I do see that, except the big attack for me was 2 Marines, a siege tank, and a medic.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, you keep
I
going.
didn't even have a Marine in my attack. Where did the Marine come from then? Hey, it looks like Quirinus now going up the right side to counter, so he's going to take out this little encampment. Going to take out this expansion fairly easily as well. So basically a base for a base here, an even trade. But, well, not really even though, because this is actually better for the Terran. You know, I think Radley will be much happier to get the split map situation than Quirinus will. At least while they were kind of expanding down each other's sides, it was a little bit more weird, but now Radley has a pretty significant mech army, so he's pushing up the left side, going to take down yet another base, and when this base falls, Quirinus is basically just going to be mining from this top left third that he took a long time ago, and because he took that so early, it's actually going to get mined out relatively quickly here. Meanwhile, a big attack going down the right side into this 3 o'clock expansion. It's probably going to fall as well, unless some reinforcements get over here. But there's actually not that many units left over, but it's not a huge Zerg attack, but I think these couple of Ultras should be able to take care of this. So this base is going to fall, and we do have some more reinforcements coming out for Quirinus. Meanwhile, these bunch of drones still hiding at the back of the Terran's NATO, just chilling. And a few Ultras gonna suicide themselves against these tanks. They've actually managed to clear up most of the Terran army, in fact. I didn't even see what happened here, but somehow the majority of the Terran force has been cleaned up, and now Radley somehow seems to be on the back foot, despite still having a decent supply lead, though. 140 against 107. I'm not quite sure where all that supply is. He doesn't seem to have a big standing army anywhere, and that's quite problematic, actually, when you're going for mech. You kind of need to sustain that decent ball of siege tanks. You know, well, this bottom right base is now going to fall as well. Radley not actually running. Okay, there we go. There's the lift on the command center. Radley. Oh, there's a couple of queens, though. There's a couple of queens. He's trying to do a mass repair on the command center to save it. I don't think he can, though, although this queen's probably going to die. Oh, man. He just parasites a random siege tank instead of getting the command center. He could probably just kill it, actually, instead of infesting it, however cool that would have been. So,
you know what's
Radley,
fun? Some things happen for me, some things don't. For example, the command center just lifted completely randomly. Several command centers, in fact.
Several? Did he just lift all his CCs in a panic?
All of them except for the main.
Nice.
And he's now transferring SCVs somewhere. God knows where.
Well, for me, he's actually got no more fresh bases. Oh, he's just taken the one on the left side, but he's actually not mining right now, so his 4K bank is actually rapidly decreasing as he tries to rebuild his army. He's actually rebuilding the command center on the right side as well, outside the base instead of inside, but it's actually blocking for his tanks a little bit, which is quite nice. Well, he's actually, Rook players actually plummeted in supply, only 120 now for Radley, about 70 supply for Quirinus, and well, it looks like we're gonna have a bit of a peace and quiet now because no players have any units left. Nice.
Wow. We live in different worlds right now, Sale.
What's happening in your game?
Well, the annoying thing is it's nothing even hilarious, which is really regrettable. It's just practically nothing. It's almost nothing. We've got a bit of random mining on the left-hand side going on. We've got Radley steadily transferring all his SCVs back to his main for some reason. And we've got loads of siege tanks sitting around and one single factory building, vultures only. That's it.
All of my factories are building, so okay.
I bet they are. You're watching, you know, a StarCraft game. I'm watching something from an alternate universe, a really boring universe.
Oh man, poor Elegant. He gets a broken replay, and it's not even as good as a Jolt replay. It's just lame. Something like that. The world is unjust.
Jolt's replay was great. I'll never forget that.
And his descriptions as well.
Yeah, I was dying of laughter. It was absolutely awesome.
Hey, it looks like we have a small attack here going down to the bottom right base again. There is a command center I thought was supposed to lift down here, but he's actually already put a command center there. I don't know how that happened. So there's now a command. I guess this command center can actually go back to the 3 o'clock, which is good. But there's some crackings here going to town on SCVs here in the base. I'm gonna try and find an epic kill of Zergling. Looks like can we get a 3rd kill? Yeah, there we go. 4 kills. For some reason he's not running the SCVs back. Okay, there we go. So there's a bit of a traffic jam on this bridge. And all right, floating back. So, you know, what was 4K is now plummeted down to 800 minerals for Radley, so he's got to be a little bit more careful with what he does. And similarly, Quirinus's minerals are only just over 1,000 now. So both players gotta be a little careful. Looks like quirinus just mining on this base, Radley mining on this left side base, but with very, very few SEVs, despite having still a decent number in his natural. And there is gonna be an attack here now with a million scourge. I hope they don't hit that barracks. Don't hit the barracks, please. Alright, they hit the barracks. Oh, they got a vessel though. Nice team matrix on this leading siege tank, and it looks like actually he's probably going to be able to hold this. Yeah, he's got a decent number of siege tanks in the back. So Radley doing a good job holding onto this base. He's back up to 150 supply against just 60 supply for quirinus, who is now in quite a bit of trouble. A very scrappy game all around, but it seems like Radley now is pretty firm control, although he's going to lose a couple of siege tanks here to Zerglings. No, actually he's not, because he has massive upgrade advantage. Is that what he has? Hold on, let me try and find a Zergling. Yeah, it's 3-1 against 3-3 right now. So these Zerglings are doing, what is that, 6 damage versus 4 plating. So the Zerglings are actually doing 2 damage per hit to the Terran mech, which is not ideal.
No.
Meanwhile, one Zergling going to try and be a hero and kill the entire mineral line, which it looks like he actually might, unless he gets stuck. Stuck inside an SCV suit. Alright, here we go. Oh, he's being attacked now, but he's a crackling, so he's got this. Alright. Here we go. Alright. It's DT Zergling. He's killing your SCVs. Oh, we got a big engagement in the middle, though. And Terran's probably going to win that one, so we'll just go back to watching the Zergling, who could actually just be a DT, because as far as the SCVs are concerned, he's actually invisible now. So he's going up to 7 kills. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, he's confused. Oh, no. Okay, wait, no, the other one. Alright, he'll kill something eventually, don't worry about it. We'll come back to that. Meanwhile, top left base is probably going to die. That's okay though, because it's not mining anymore. It doesn't have any minerals left. We do have a counterattack down the left side, involving drones in fact, which do absolutely nothing. So that's not very interesting. Alright, let's just go back to the starting. Alright, 10 kills. That's pretty cool. Alright, now he's going to get the last SCV, so he doesn't have anything left to kill. I guess he can start just killing. Yeah, he can kill the depot. That's pretty good. Oh, he lifted the command center after they all died. Nice. Well done, Radley. Well done. Meanwhile, quirinus is now trying to double expand to try and get some kind of mining going on. He's only got the 9 o'clock and he's got like 5 drones mining minerals. He's actually suddenly down to 29 supply. I didn't see when this happened. Meanwhile, Radley's up at 162 and he's killed the amazing Zergling. So that's not good. Right. So quirinus is pretty dead right now.
Really?
Yeah. Is he still alive in your game?
Well, everyone's still equally as alive, except 22,000 minerals rich. That's all that's happened. That's all you've missed. On my side of things. Back to you.
I wonder if one day like someone's actually gonna play a TLS game and both players are gonna agree to just go up to 22,000 minerals just to pretend the replay's broken, and they're actually just playing.
If Tupacalypse chooses that one for us to cast, then I think we'll have to find a new replay picker.
Tupac, you are fired.
Yeah. Can we do that? Can we fire Tupacalypse?
I don't know. I mean, technically he's like our boss, right? Like he can fire us. I don't think we can fire him. I don't think it works that way. I don't know. We'll have to have a revolution here.
Yeah.
Rebel against Tupac. Take over the TLS. Hash free TLS, guys. If you don't want to see bugged replays, hash free Twitter, hash free TLS.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I just saw a small force go at that random little command post that Radley's had forever. Yeah, they're just drones being sent at it now, willy-nilly.
I don't know what quirinus did. Oh, quirinus apparently has a bunch of drones stuck on the back. One way stuck. Okay, there's the mine out. Oh, there's only 4. But, I mean, he's got 15 supply. Okay, there's the GG. At 15 supply against 172, quirinus taps out, and Radley is victorious.
GG.
GG, yo. Well, that was good.
Yeah? Okay. I'm afraid I saw absolutely nothing.
Wait, did you hear that?
The siren?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went past somewhere over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have absolutely no analysis on the game because I basically wasn't there, so I'm going to have to leave it all over to your very capable hands.
Well, Terran went mech, and mech is pretty good on destination, and quirinus died.
That sounds like roughly the shape of it.
Yeah. Both players also had a lot of minerals at various points in the game, which is slightly confusing.
Not great, is it?
Yeah. But, we're going to go to a quick break and then come back for another game. Don't go anywhere, guys.
We'll be back.